You'd think you're protecting your paint, but every single wash, you might be carving microscopic scratches into the clear coat, swirl marks, spider webbing, dullness that no polish can fix. Most car owners make the same 13 mistakes over and over, and the damage compounds silently until one day your black car looks gray in the sunlight. Dealerships won't tell you, the quick-lube bay won't stop you, and that premium soap you bought, it won't save you if you're using it wrong. Some of these mistakes happen before the water even touches the panel. Others happen during the drying stage when you think the hard part is done. One of them is so common that even detailers slip up. And here's the kicker. The worst offender isn't the technique, it's the tool you trust most. Stay with me until the end because I'm going to walk you through every single mistake, why it destroys your finish, and exactly how to avoid it starting today. Let's get one thing straight first. Paint correction exists because wash damage is real. Your clear coat is softer than you think. It's only a few thousandths of an inch thick, and every time you drag contamination across it, you're removing material. Those swirls you see under LED lights, that's not a defect from the factory. That's you. That's me. That's every hand that touched the car with the wrong method. The goal of washing isn't just to remove dirt. It's to remove dirt without creating friction between hard particles and soft clear coat. If you don't understand that principle, nothing else matters. No soap, no mitt, no fancy pressure washer will save you. The entire process is about lubrication, mechanical gentleness, and sequence. Miss one step, and you're machining your paint with mud. And here's the truth. Most people are washing their car like they're scrubbing a driveway. It works. The car gets clean. But 6 months later, they're wondering why the paint looks dull and hazy in indirect light.
The first mistake is washing in direct sunlight or on a hot panel. Sounds harmless, feels efficient, but here's what really happens. Soap dries before you rinse it. Water evaporates and leaves behind minerals. You start scrubbing dried soap across the surface, and now your mitt is dragging abrasive residue in circular patterns. Even worse, the panel is hot enough that contaminants bake onto the clear coat, making them harder to remove and more likely to scratch when you apply pressure. The sun also tricks your eyes. You can't see the soap film, you can't see where you've already rinsed, so you go over the same section twice, adding unnecessary friction. Professional detailers wash in the shade or early morning for a reason. It's not about comfort, it's about control. Cool panels give you time. Time means lubrication stays wet. Wet means slippery. Slippery means safe. Ignore this and every other step is compromised. Mistake number 2, skipping the pre-rinse or using it wrong. Most people grab the hose, spray the car for 10 seconds, then go straight to the mitt. That's a catastrophe. Your paint is covered in dust, pollen, sand, brake dust, and road film, all of it sitting on the surface, dry and sharp. The second you touch it with a wash mitt, even a soft one, you're grinding it into the clear coat. The pre-rinse isn't optional, it's the most important step. You need sustained, high-volume water flow to lift and flush loose contamination off the panel before any physical contact happens. If you have a pressure washer, use a wide fan tip and work from top to bottom, letting gravity pull the dirt down and away. If you only have a hose, let the water sheet across the surface for at least 60 seconds per section. Don't rush it. This step removes 70% of the scratch risk before you even add soap. Skip it, and you're rubbing sandpaper across glass. Now the third mistake, using one bucket instead of 2.
Or worse, using 2 buckets but never actually rinsing the mitt. Here's what they don't tell you at the car wash aisle. Every time your mitt touches the paint, it picks up dirt. When you dip it back into your soap bucket, that dirt stays in the water. 5 minutes later, you're washing with contaminated suds. You're reapplying the same particles you just removed. The 2-bucket method isn't overkill. It's basic contamination control. 1 bucket has soap, 1 bucket has clean rinse water. After every pound, dip the mitt in the rinse bucket, agitate it against a grit guard at the bottom to release trapped dirt, then reload with soap. The grit guard is critical. It settles contamination below the barrier so your mitt never touches it again. If you skip this, you're just spreading dirt in circles. And if you're using the same bucket for wheels and paint, stop. Wheels carry brake dust, which is metallic and sharp. That belongs in its own bucket, with its own brush, far away from your finish.
Mistake 4. Using the wrong wash media. Sponges, old t-shirts, kitchen rags, brushes with stiff bristles, even some microfiber mitts that feel soft but have tight looped fibers that trap particles and hold them against the paint. Here's the rule. Your wash media must have deep, plush fibers that lift and encapsulate dirt away from the surface. Sponges are flat. Dirt sits on the face and grinds with every swipe. T-shirts have seams and hard edges. Kitchen rags have textures designed to scrub, not glide. If it's not purpose-built for automotive clear coat, it doesn't belong on your paint. The best mitts are thick, soft, and absorbent, usually made from long microfiber strands or natural wool. They should feel pillowy when wet. When you press them against your palm, dirt should sink into the fibers, not sit on top. Replace them every 6 months or sooner if they get stiff, matted, or contaminated with something you can't rinse out.
One bad mitt will undo a year of careful work. Mistake 5. Circular scrubbing motions. This is the one that creates the classic spiderweb swirls you see on black and dark blue cars under bright light. When you scrub in circles, any particle trapped in your mitt gets dragged around in a loop, cutting concentric arcs into the clear coat. Those arcs reflect light in every direction, scattering it instead of bouncing it cleanly back to your eye. That's what makes the paint look hazy. The fix is simple, but requires discipline. Straight lines. Wash in overlapping straight passes, either side to side or front to back. If a scratch does happen, it'll be a single linear mark that's far less visible than a swirl. Even better, it's easier to polish out later if you ever do paint correction. This applies to drying too. Never circle with a towel. Always straight, light passes. It feels unnatural at first, but once you see the difference under an LED flashlight, you'll never go back. The goal is to minimize the scratch pattern, not eliminate friction entirely, because friction will always exist. You're just controlling its signature. Here's mistake 6, and it's more common than you think. Too much pressure. Washing isn't scrubbing. If you're leaning into the panel, pressing hard to remove a bug or tar spot, you're doing it wrong. The soap and water should be doing the work, not your arm. Pressure compresses the dirt against the clear coat, increasing friction and scratch depth. If something won't come off with light wiping, don't force it. That's what pre-soak is for. That's what detailing clay is for. That's what tar remover is for. Let chemistry and dwell time break down the contamination first, then wipe it away gently. If you find yourself scrubbing, stop. Spray more soap. Let it sit. Add more water for lubrication. Come back to it. The paint doesn't care how long it takes. It only cares about how much force you apply.
Light touch equals long life. Heavy hand equals permanent damage. And here's the worst part. You won't see it happening. The scratches are microscopic at first, but they add up. Wash after wash, year after year, until the clear coat is so marred it won't shine no matter how much you wax it. Mistake 7. Ignoring contamination you can't see. Your paint might look clean, but run your hand across it after washing. Does it feel rough, bumpy, like fine sandpaper? That's bonded contamination, fallout, industrial particles, tree sap mist, brake dust that's fused to the clear coat. It doesn't rinse off, and every time you wash over it, your mitt drags across those sharp little raised points, scratching the surrounding paint. This is why detailing clay exists. It's a soft, pliable bar that glides over lubricated paint and grabs embedded particles, pulling them off without cutting into the finish. You should clay your car at least twice a year or whenever you feel roughness. Use a dedicated clay lubricant or soapy water. Never clay on dry paint. Work in small sections, folding and kneading the clay to expose clean surfaces as it picks up contamination. After claying, your paint will feel like glass, smooth, slick. And now your wash mitt won't be dragging across hidden sandpaper every time you clean the car. This step alone prevents thousands of micro scratches over the life of your vehicle. Mistake 8 is washing top to bottom all at once with the same mitt load. Sounds efficient, but here's the problem. The bottom half of your car is filthy. Rocker panels, lower doors, rear bumper. They're caked with road grime, oil, tar, and salt. The roof and upper panels are relatively clean. If you load your mitt and wash from hood to rocker in one pass, you're dragging heavy contamination back up across cleaner areas. The fix? Wash in stages. Do the entire top half first. Roof, glass, upper doors, hood, trunk. Rinse your mitt often.
Then reload and do the lower half separately.
Some detailers even use a different mitt for the bottom sections. This keeps the worst contamination isolated and prevents cross-contamination. It takes a little longer, but the results are measurable. Your upper panel stays swirl-free longer, and your paint clarity improves. It's a small habit change with big returns. And if you're really serious, wash the wheels first with a separate bucket and tools, so you're not accidentally kicking up wheel grime mid-wash. Now the ninth mistake, and this one surprises people, using dirty drying towels or the wrong drying technique. You just spent 20 minutes washing safely, and then you grab a damp towel from last week or a random chamois that's been sitting in the garage, and you wipe down the car. Instant scratches. Drying is a contact step. Anything on that towel, any dirt it picked up last time, any stiffness from detergent buildup becomes an abrasive. Your drying towels must be clean, soft, and highly absorbent. Microfiber drying towels with long, twisted, or waffle weave fibers are best. Wash them separately from other laundry. No fabric softener, air dry, or low heat. Before you use one, shake it out and inspect it for anything stuck in the fibers. Then don't wipe. Lay the towel flat on the panel and drag it gently toward you, letting it soak up the water instead of scrubbing it off. For even safer drying, use a blower to remove 90% of the water first, then just dab the remaining drops. No friction, no scratches, perfect finish. Mistake 10. Automatic car washes. I know it's convenient. I know it's winter and you don't want to stand outside. But touchless or brush, both are bad for your paint. Brushes are the worst. They spin at high speed and are used on hundreds of cars per day. They're loaded with dirt, grit, and chemicals from every vehicle before yours, even the soft cloth ones. They beat your paint with contaminated fabric at RPM. You'll see the scratches immediately on dark colors. Touchless washes seem safer because nothing touches the car, but the chemicals are harsh. They have to be because there's no mechanical agitation. So they use high pH soaps and strong degreasers that strip wax, dry out trim, and etch glass. Neither option gives you control. Neither option rinses properly, and both leave your car worse than when it arrived. If you absolutely must use one in an emergency, choose touchless and re-wax immediately after. But if you care about your paint, wash it yourself. 10 minutes of your time saves hundreds in paint correction later. Here's the twist. The biggest scratch risk isn't during the wash at all. It's during the dry, and it's from something you never suspect. Water itself. Specifically, hard water. If you live in an area with high mineral content and you let your car air dry, those minerals are left behind as the water evaporates. They etch into the clear coat, creating white spots and rough textures. When you go to dry the car next time or wash it again, your towel or mitt is now rubbing over those hardened mineral deposits. Scratches multiply. The workaround is simple but critical. Never let wash water air dry on paint. Even if you can't dry the whole car immediately, at least blow or wipe the panels before the water evaporates, or use a final rinse with deionized or filtered water to leave behind no minerals. Some detailers keep a small spot-free rinse system just for this. It's not about being fancy, it's about chemistry. Pure water leaves nothing behind. Tap water leaves rocks, and rocks scratch clear coat. So here's your wash checklist. 1. Wash in shade or on cool panels. 2. Pre-rinse thoroughly with high water volume. 3. 2 buckets with grit guards, separate tools for wheels. 4. Soft wash mitt, replaced regularly. 5. Straight line motions, no circles. 6. Light pressure, let soap do the work. 7. Clay bar twice a year to remove bonded contamination. 8. Wash top half separately from lower dirty sections. 9. Clean drying towels, blot or blow instead of wiping. 10. Avoid automatic washes entirely. 11. Dry before water evaporates. 12. Inspect your tools before and after every wash. 13. If you see scratches forming, stop and audit your entire process. One weak link ruins everything. Fix it now or pay for correction later. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Every wash is either protecting your investment or destroying it. There's no neutral. Here's the bottom line. Your paint will never be tougher than it is right now. Every wash either preserves that or removes a microscopic layer of clear coat. Do it wrong 50 times and you'll burn through to the base coat. Do it right 500 times and your car will still look showroom fresh a decade from now. The difference isn't the products, it's the process. It's the discipline to slow down and do the boring steps that nobody sees. Pre-rinse, 2 buckets, straight lines, gentle pressure, clean tools. These aren't detailing secrets. They're the basics that 90% of car owners skip. And that's why 90% of used cars have trashed paint. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be better than average. And now you know exactly how. So let me ask you this, which of these 13 mistakes have you been making? Drop a comment and let me know. I read every single one. And if this video just saved your paint, hit that subscribe button, because next week I'm breaking down the biggest waxing myths that are costing you money and leaving your car unprotected. You think wax protects for 6 months? Think again. I'll see you in the next one.